Welcome to the new session of derivatives. I am Shriram Dandekar, representing Navakopan Education Society, CGPJ College. We are studying derivatives, and this is the new topic, the derivative of parametric functions. First of all, we must know what are the parametric functions. I will take one simple example in which you will see what is the notation of this parametric function. One equation, x square plus y square equal to a square. Very simple equation. Now here in this equation you know that this is equation of circle whose center is at the origin and radius is equal to a. Now any point on this circle, Cartesian coordinates x, y, any point satisfying this equation is the point of the circle, or any point lying on the circle will satisfy this equation. X square plus y square is equal to a square. Now, is it the unique way to represent a circle? The answer is certainly no. Instead of x and y, we can have r and theta. These two coordinates can be there. You know that they are circular coordinates. So the same equation I can represent it using x is equal to a cos theta and y is equal to a sin theta. You have studied this in 11th standard trigonometry. X is equal to a cos theta, y equal to a sin theta. Polar coordinates you are saying to this. These are parametric functions of x and y. Here the variable is theta. X is a function of theta and y is also function of theta. Many times we need these equations in future mathematics, and therefore we must know how to find derivatives of such functions. First of all, to begin with, let us find out the theorem. Let us prove the theorem. The theorem states that if x is a function of t, y is also function of t, where t is the parameter, then also x and y both are differentiable functions, then y is differentiable function of x and dy by dx exists. dy by dx exists means dy by dx is equal to dy by dt upon dx by dt, provided this denominator dx by dt not equal to 0. This denominator dx by dt should not be 0. Only in that case this dy by dx exists. In the example that we have seen just now, x is equal to a cos theta and y is equal to a sin theta. Here x is differentiable function of theta. Here we are considering a constant. X is differentiable function of theta, y is also differentiable function of theta. In this case, dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta upon dx by d theta. That is derivative of y, that is a sin theta with respect to theta, and derivative of x, a cos theta, its derivative with respect to theta. Derivative of y, that is a sin theta, with respect to theta, not with respect to x, upon derivative of a cos theta with respect to theta. Now you know that derivative of sin theta, a constant can be taken out of the derivative. Sin theta, its derivative with respect to theta is cos theta. So a cos theta is derivative of numerator. Denominator derivative of a cos theta is minus a sin theta. A cancel and the answer is minus cot theta. So dy by dx in this case exists. It is in terms of theta. Dy by dx is equal to minus cot theta. Also, we can take this to the form in x and y. We know that cos theta, a cos theta is nothing but x and a sin theta is equal to y. So here I can write y upon minus x. So dy by dx is equal to minus y upon x. That can be the answer over here. What I am trying to tell you that we can prove the theorem dy by dx is equal to dy by dt upon dx by dt. For that I have taken that example, dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta upon dx by d theta. Now here x and y are differentiable functions of t. Here I am considering the variable or the parameter t. Therefore, dx by dt exists. It is limit delta t tending to 0, delta x upon delta t. dy by dt exists and it is equal to limit delta t tending to 0, delta y upon delta t. What are delta x, delta y, delta t? X, y are differentiable functions of t. If there is a small change delta t, then corresponding to change in t, x and y will change. The change in x is delta x and change in y is delta y. Delta x, delta y are corresponding changes in x and y. Also, we know that when delta t tends to 0, we have delta x tending to 0. Whenever the dependent variable goes to 0, its change goes to 0, the changes in dependent variable also go to 0. T is independent and x, y are dependent on t. Now consider delta y upon delta x. Delta y upon delta x. It is equal to delta y upon delta t divided by delta x upon delta t. Certainly, we have assumed that delta t, delta x, they are non-zero. Only in that case, this ratio exists. Let us take limit on both sides. Limit delta t tending to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to limit delta t tending to 0, delta y by delta t upon delta x by delta t. Now this, when delta t tends to 0, delta x tends to 0. I am using it here. Therefore, limit delta x tending to 0, delta y by delta x is equal to limit delta t tending to 0 delta y by delta t upon limit delta t tending to 0 delta y by delta t. On the left hand side, this is delta x tending to 0. I want that. And on the right hand side, I want delta t tending to 0. Limits can be separated and they are separated here. So limit delta t tending to 0 delta y by delta t upon limit delta t tending to 0 delta x by delta t. I made a mistake here. Delta x by delta t. Now here from 1 I can replace dy by dt upon dx by dt. Now this exists if dx by dt not equal to 0. This exists only in this case, and therefore the limit on right hand side exists and is finite. And if limit on right hand side exists and is finite, then limit on left hand side must exist and is finite. And we can write this as dy by dx. And therefore the proof of the theorem dy by dx is equal to dy by dt divided by dx by dt provided dx by dt not equal to 0. Thank you. Let us solve some problems for the derivative of parametric functions. First problem I will take, very simple one. X is equal to 8t square, y is equal to 2at. Here t is the parameter, a is constant. Differentiating with respect to t. So dx by dt we get dx by dt is equal to 2at. A constant keeping as it is, derivative of t square with respect to t, derivative of t square is 2t. So derivative of at square is 2at. And derivative of y with respect to t, 2a is constant, derivative of t. Derivative of t with respect to t is 1. So derivative of 2at is 2a. And therefore dy by dx is equal to dy by dt upon dx by dt. It is equal to dy by dt is 2a and dx by dt is 2at. That is 1 upon t. Now one common mistake that students do in the examination, dy by dt, dx by dt, till this point they do correctly. But afterwards, in place of dy by dt, they write dx by dt. And in place of dx by dt, they write dy by dt. This is by mistake in hurry of the examination. Sometimes we make the opposite thing. dy by dt is 2a. dx by dt is 2at. So dy by dt I want in numerator. dx by dt I want in the denominator. Read the question carefully. What do we want? If we want dx by dy, then the opposite thing is correct. But if we want dy by dx, then this is correct. Please note this while solving the problems. Many times you interchange this and you get the reverse answer. This is simple problem. The answer is in t. You can take the same answer in terms of x and y also. 280 is y. So here I can replace y. 2a is constant your answer can be 2a upon y, constant upon y. This can be your answer. Let me take second problem. X is equal to cos of log t and y is equal to log of cos t. Differentiating with respect to t. Dx by dt is equal to, here we are going to use the chain rule. Using chain rule, derivative of cos bracket is minus sin bracket into derivative of bracket. So minus sin of log t into derivative of log t with respect to t. Many times we write this by mistake d by dx. We have to avoid such mistakes. Equal to minus sin log t into 1 upon t. This is dx by dt. dy by dt is equal to derivative of log bracket. Derivative of log bracket is 1 upon bracket into derivative of bracket. That is minus sin t upon cos t minus tan t. Now the formula dy by dx is equal to dy by dt upon dx by dt. dy by dt is minus tan t and dx by dt is minus sin of log t divided by t. Hence the answer is minus minus can be cancelled out. T tan t into cosec log t. Pause this video and write this down. Let me take one more example. Simple again. X is equal to square root of 1 minus t square and y is equal to sine inverse t. Differentiating with respect to t, dx by dt is equal to square root bracket, derivative of square root bracket 1 upon 2 root bracket into derivative of bracket. Derivative of 1 is 0, derivative of t square is 2t. So minus 2t upon 2 under root 1 minus t square is dx by dt. dy by dt, y is equal to sine inverse t. Its derivative 1 upon under root 1 minus t square. Here I can cancel 2. And therefore dy by dx is dy by dt upon dx by dt. dy by dt is 1 upon under root 1 minus t square and dx by dt is t upon under root 1 minus t square. So answer is 1 upon t. In the next problem, I am going to show you some different notation. Here we have found out derivative of x with respect to y. Instead of that, we can think that u and v are the functions. U is function of say x, v is function of say x. then derivative of one function with respect to other function, or derivative of other function with respect to first function. Such notation can be there. I'll take one more example. If u is equal to square root of a raised to sine inverse x and v is equal to square root of a raised to cos inverse x, and I want its derivative of u with respect to v, derivative of u with respect to v, differentiating with respect to x, du by dx is equal to derivative of square root bracket 1 upon 2 root bracket a raised to sine inverse x into derivative of a raised to sine inverse x. Derivative of a raised to bracket log a into derivative of bracket 1 upon 2 under root a raised to sine inverse x into a raised to sine inverse x into log a into derivative of sine inverse x is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. On the same lines, I can find dv by dx. dv by dx, derivative of square root bracket 1 upon 2 root bracket, then derivative of a raised to bracket log a into derivative of bracket. So on the same lines, dv by dx is 1 upon 2 under root a raised to cos inverse x into a raised to cos inverse x into log a into minus 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Derivative of u with respect to v is du by dv. du by dv is equal to du by dx upon dv by dx. du by dx 1 upon 2 under root a raised to sine inverse x into a raised to sine inverse x into log a into 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. The denominator dv by dx is 1 upon 2 under root a raised to cos inverse x into a raised to cos inverse x into log a into minus 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Log a cancels out, 1 upon under root 1 minus x square cancels out, negative 1 remains, 2 cancels out. Now this is equal to a upon square root a. A upon square root a is square root of a. I can think like this. So numerator is square root of a raised to sine inverse x. Denominator is square root of a raised to cos inverse x. Negative sign is there. Now square root of a raised to sine inverse x is u, and I can write the answer minus u upon v. So derivative of u with respect to v is minus u by v in this case. Not always. You cannot do this as usual or in every problem. Sometimes the answer can be in the parameters only. You can keep it as it is. Thank you for today.